Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
First, a word from our sponsor. The Daily Compliance News for December 13, 2022, the SBF Arrested Edition. We begin with that story as FTX founder and former chief executive Sam Bankman-Fried, or SBF, was arrested Monday in the Bahamas after the U.S. filed criminal charges. SBF was arrested without incident at his apartment, and he is to be extradited to the United States on the day this podcast posts. So we expect to see an unsealed indictment, and it's going to be interesting to see how badly he has damaged his criminal defense through his continued mouth running. The arrest is the latest bombshell in a case that has transfixed Wall Street and Washington. Next up from the New York Times, 4 EU legislators were arrested and charged with accepting bribes from Qatar. The Belgian authorities announced on Sunday it had charged 4 people as part of a major investigation into suspected bribes from the Middle Eastern country. The prosecutor did not name those charged and only named a Gulf state when the charges were announced, but a Belgian official said the country was allegedly Qatar. After the World Cup, what do you expect? In one of the great stories, or stories of great hubris, Marcus Braun, the former CEO of Wirecard, wants the criminal trial against him suspended because he alleges there was insufficient investigation into the case. The prosecutors ignored crucial evidence and relied on flawed testimony of unreliable witnesses who were telling, quote, a pack of lies. When you consider that this is the head of Wirecard saying all this, and given everything that's come out about Wirecard and its fraud, you have to give him credit for lots of hubris, but it's going to be interesting to see what the court has to say to his lawyer. And our final story comes to us from Reuters, which says the U.S. Department of Justice is split over charging Binance as a crypto money launderer. It involves a long-running criminal investigation into the crypto exchange. The investigation began in 2018 and is focused on the company's compliance with anti-money laundering laws and sanctions. So Binance now has its own trouble, this time not from a financial collapse perspective, but perhaps from a legal or regulatory perspective. It's been long rumored to have been used by various nefarious organizations, and it appears that the part of the U.S. prosecutorial services believes this. So it's going to be interesting to see all of this going forward involving crypto. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.
This podcast is a part of the C-Suite Radio Network. For more top business podcasts, visit c-suiteradio.com.